Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to look at how to use the higher time frame or multiple time frame analysis to help manage and filter your trades in MTPredictor. But before we get onto that, I'd like to look at our risk disclaimer, because as usual, we have to state that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and trading purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing, or put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. Right, let's have a look at the USE minis, how they unfolded yesterday, which was the 14th of June. I want to start by looking at a 3-minute chart of the ES, and you can see we had one sell setup here, which was a TS3 sell setup. This was on a black MTP trend, and as such was a good one to take. So I want to now have a look at our higher time frame DP support and resistance zones on the higher time frame chart to see how this setup fits in with that analysis. Remember, the higher time frame chart is a chart between 3 and 5 time frames higher. So if there's a 3-minute chart, you go out to a 15-minute chart. I'll just zoom out a bit. If it's say a 15-minute forex, you go out to a hourly. If you're looking at say daily stocks, you go out to weekly. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that these are our NinjaTrader 8 add-ons for MTPredictor, so I'm using NinjaTrader 8 here. So what do we do? Well, I'm just going to add a little bit of space to the right hand side here, just a bit more space here, and see what the chart looked like. If I scroll back, see what the chart looked like before we got up into the area of that TS3 sell. Can you see here how you had a pivot swing on the 15-minute chart? So what we do is we right mouse click, we do decision point. Can you see how that put a resistance area out on the chart, but the more important, how that resistance area was on the chart in advance. If we go back to the 3-minute chart and scroll back again, can you see that's where that level would have been? See, there it is. It says 15-minute resistance, but it was there before the market even got there. So as the market came up into that level, can you see how now we were getting our sell set up, but it was actually unfolding at higher time frame resistance. So two things were coming together. Our MTP trend had also gone black, indicating the market was in a process of making a reversal. So let's right mouse click, place our analysis on, and you can see that's gave our position sizing and also our potential target down here. The market started to decline nicely, but as you can see didn't reach the first profit target before it started to rally up. So were there any reasons why this particular trade didn't reach its first profit target? Well, as usual, we need to go to our higher time frame chart. So we go back to our 15-minute chart, and can you see how this is how the market would have been looking as the 3-minute trade was progressing? It was going down, but can you see how we also had a pivot low here? So right mouse click, do decision point. Again, that's an area on the chart, but can you see again how that's on the chart in advance? So it was on the chart in advance. So if we now go back to our 3-minute chart, this is what was happening. Can you see that? The market was going down, but here was our 15-minute or higher time frame support level, but it was in the way of the trade getting down to your original profit target. So once the market gets into this level, which it did here, probably the most sensible thing to do was to start to trail just above the 1 bar high. So perhaps just about here, and lock in about 1.8 R profit. You can see I excuse me. You can see how I grabbed and dragged our risk reward target to be just above that bar's high. So this was locking in about 1.8 R profit. But the reason you do this is if the market now rolled over and went down to the profit target, it would then keep you in and take you down as the market dropped, or if indeed the market was finding support at this higher time frame support level and the market rallied up, it would take you out and give you a nice 1.8 hour profit. The latter is what happened. You can see the market did indeed rally up, so that would have been a nice profit locked in there as well. But can you see how we were using the higher time frame support and resistance areas on the higher time frame chart to help gauge and manage your shorter term trade. As the market was dropping down into this low here at about 3 o'clock, if I go over to the NQ at that same time, you can see we had a lovely VS or volume spike buy setup. We also had a nice TS3 buy setup earlier in the day, but that was against an MTP red trend. So let's see how this setup again comes in with our higher time frame resistance, support and resistance areas. Well, if I go back to before that low came in, right mouse click off that last pivot low, do decision points. You can see we're doing exactly the same as we did with our ES chart. There it is on the chart in advance. If I now go down to our 3-minute chart, you can see exactly the same, that as the market was declining down, that level was there on the chart in advance ready for you. So of course, as the market comes back down into this level, you can see that not only was a VS setup, which was a volume spike setup, this is where the market makes a wide range bar beyond a prior important psychological low on high volume, then reverses. So this means that it's a professional, or the professionals are stepping in here with professional monies, looking to fake out the amateurs who thought the market was keep on going down. So they fake out the amateur short trades to then push the market higher and sharply quicker. So this was a good trade to take. So let's right mouse click, place the analysis on, and as you can see, that would have actually been a lovely potential target, but basically the market just ran out of time and the market closed. If I grab this and bring it down onto about where the close was, you can see it's about a 3.7, 3.8 R on the close. So a very nice trade there indeed. But can you see how we were using the higher time frame support and resistance zones from the higher time frame chart to help gauge our shorter term trades and provide assistance in anticipating where these markets were meant to, or were anticipated to reverse. Obviously the markets don't always work this well, and this doesn't always happen quite like this. This is why MTPredictor is not a black box system and not to be used with 100% mechanical trading. It's basically to be used when the market or the market pattern picture becomes clear, which you did in this case. So hopefully a good example of using our multi-time frame analysis, using the 15-minute and 3-minute charts to uncover some good trade setups on the NQ towards the end of the day there, and then also on the ES a bit earlier to catch that fall into that low there.